In this lesson we're going to look at the distributive property, which is the only property that involves both multiplication and division at the same time. You know, we had the commutative property of multiplication, the commutative property of addition, but they were separate. And the distributive property involves them both at the same time. And what it says is that if you want to multiply a number by a set of parentheses, you multiply by every term inside the parentheses. For example, we've all gone to dinner and a movie before. Suppose you know that you're going to pay $10 for the movie, but of course the price of dinner depends on where you decide to eat. Well, we could write that as 10 plus x, because x is an unknown and we don't know how much dinner is going to cost, so this x represents the cost of dinner. Now suppose two of you are going to go eat, and you're both going to eat the same dinner. Well then, for two people, it would have to be 2 times this total, because it's not enough to do just 10 times or 2 times 10, because that would only double the price of the movie ticket, and it's not enough to do 2 times x, because that only doubles the price of the dinner. You have to double the price of both. If you're both going to do dinner and a movie, you have to pay twice for both. So what we're going to do is distribute 2 into this parentheses. So we're going to go 2 times 10, and that is 20. And then we're going to go plus 2 times x. So that's plus 2x. And so the 2 has been distributed to both of these terms. And after you distribute, there's no longer any need for the parentheses, because the parentheses says, hey, multiply this number times everything inside. Well, after it's done, then you don't need the parentheses anymore. So let's just practice a few of these. Multiply, first off, 7 times x plus 3. So we will do 7 times x, that's 7x, and then we'll do 7 times 3, and so that's going to make plus 21. Alright, now on the second one, we got to do 2 times both things in the parentheses. So 2 times 7x, it's going to be 14x, and then for our second term, plus 2 times 10 is going to be 20. Okay, now on the third one, we've got 3 terms here. We'll multiply 5 times each term. So 5 times 3y will become 15y. 5 times 4x will become plus 20x. And then 5 times 6 will become plus 30. So sometimes you can also see the distribution factor written on the right side, like this. Even though the 3 is on the right, we still distribute the same way. We're going to write 6 times 3 is 18, and 2x times 3 is 6x, and that's really all there is to it. Now we can also distribute fractions. So when you see a fraction, don't let it alarm you, because you know how to distribute, you know how to multiply fractions. Well, distributing is just more multiplying. So here's the way I write it out, though, to make it easier. If I have a fraction to distribute, I do 1/6 times this term, and I write it like this. So when I distribute, I just, whatever is on the bottom, I just put that on the bottom. So 1/6 times 12x gives us 12x over 6. And then 1/6 times 30 gives us 30 over 6. So when you distribute something in the top, multiply it by the top. But when you distribute something in the bottom, just put it on the bottom of every term. Now sometimes these will simplify, sometimes not. These will. So 12 over 6 makes 2. So that first term is 2x, and this second one, 30 divided by 6, makes 5. So this is 2x plus 5. Now here's our second example for us. 1/5 times 8x plus 15. We'll have to do 1/5 times 8x and then we'll have to do 1/5 times 15. Oops. So I had to fix that and make it a 5 here. 1/5 times 15. So notice that this term will not simplify. 8 over 5 won't reduce, but 15 over 5 will reduce, and it will make 3. So reduce if you can, but if you can't, don't worry about it. And one last one. 1/4 times 12x plus 22y minus 7. So I'm going to distribute the 1/4. That means every term gets 4 in the denominator. And then I'm going to go back and simplify wherever possible. Here I've got 12 over 4, which makes 3. So that's 3x. For the middle term, 22 over 4 won't make a whole number, but it will simplify. Both of these can be divided by 2. So if I divide them by 2, the 22 divided by 2 will give us 11y, and in the denominator, 4 divided by 2 will give us 2. And then for the last fraction, 7/4 will not simplify at all, so it just stays 7/4. And that's all there is to that one.